Nola hobetuko zenukete esena musikala? Zer behar da?
Fuera mejor la escena musical o si las muchachas se soportan y
Más
fueran
apoyo.
más
apoyo.
ajá, más apoyo pueden que seamos todas amigas y también que los muchachos nos aceptan parte más de lo que ya está, porque debemos ser más
Unidos.
más
Y que-
unidos y que no haya tanto machismo todavía, porque todavía sí existe.
Existe mucho y nosotras podemos hacer lo mismo.
Que nos miren como personas que tocan música y no como mujeres que están en una banda.
Que solo quieren enseñar piel o ni eso, también podemos tocar la música igual que ellos.
Zelakoa da death metal eta greencorraren osasuna Irlandan?
There are some cool bands in Ireland at the moment. Next December we play with a band called Zella Cult and Ocus, also Grief Eater, lots of sludge and crust in these bands. And for a more pure death metal experience you could probably check out Oncology, Koskara or Malthusian.
Ezagutzen duzu Euskal Herria? Gustatuko litzaizueke Euskal Herrian zuzenean jotzea?
Of course, we know the Basque Country. Everybody knows the Basque Country. A really beautiful place of Europe, and we would definitely love to perform our songs there for you guys. And we hope to meet you all. Make new friends. That's what music is all about.
Zein harreman dauka Hegemony Shiftek Korearekin?
Hegemony Shift is a song that points to the problems caused by the gap between the rich and the poor, found not only in Korea but also in all countries where capitalism has developed. In this album, I'm talking about looking at political, economic, religious, and environmental issues in modern society and thinking about the solution together.
Zein da diskriminazioarentzat daukazuen mezua?
Okay, discrimination is not good. We're not victims of discrimination, but I think it's not okay gypsies or black guys or Asian people or another people to be discriminated before their races or religion or anything. We are people.
Or sexuality. Yeah, I think it's all bullshit. Our message is stop this bullshit. Come on, stop this bullshit. Yeah, we are not the best people to ask, because we are we are white, we are privileged, but we live in Romania and we have a big Roma community here, so we see it happen.
And in the USA, about Mexican guys or Chinese or anything else is not okay, man. And what Donald Trump made with the fucking wall, we're not in Game of Thrones, they don't need no wall. And how?
Man, punk rock should always be against this bullshit.
Yeah. This is a it's not okay. And how wise man said, in the end, it doesn't even matter. Okay, we're the same. We have the same skull, same blood.
Beste talde batzuen ze hiru album entzutea gomendatuko zenukete?
I can't speak for all the other members, but in general, our sound is very power metal. So for someone like me, Yngwie Malmsteen, Rising Force, any of those albums. My personal favorite is Trilogy, and the early Halloween stuff. I enjoy Walls of Jericho, and obviously classical music we are very much influenced by also. Any of the Bach is very influential on us. So We promote and recommend listening to classical Baroque music, which is very influential in power metal.
Nolakoa da punk mugimendua Pereiran?
Bueno, parceros, para comentarles un poquitico sobre cómo es el movimiento Punk acá en Pereira, pues el movimiento Punk acá en Pereira, Pereira no es una ciudad como tan monopolizada ni tan grande como es Bogotá, por ejemplo, que es la capital del país, o Medellín, que son ciudades más grandes. Pereira es como una ciudad más pequeñita, pero pues la movida Punk acá en Pereira es grande, por así decirlo, con respecto a la población. Es unida, por así decirlo. Hay gente que está haciendo muchas cosas, acciones directas, por ejemplo, como ollas comunitarias para los habitantes de calle y la gente de bajos recursos, recolección de ropa, de comida, para apoyo para poblaciones de bajos ingresos sociales. También se está haciendo, o hay muchos compañeros que hacen también acciones directas, ya tiene que ver con la música. La autogestión siempre es la base primordial del punk. Yo creo que acá en Pereira y en Colombia podría decirlo también. Entonces es como eso, es una variedad de chicos y de chicas que lo que están haciendo es que se están juntando a hacer las cosas de una manera totalmente autogestionada, sin necesidad de terceros ni de mucho menos cosas políticas, representantes políticos, alcaldías, gobernaciones, nada de eso. Todo es hecho de punks para punks y para el que quiera unirse al parche, el que quiera colaborar, el que quiera gestionar las cosas también y darnos pues una mano con lo que estamos haciendo. Acá en Pereira el punk es muy variado, hay mucho punk HC, hay divid, hay punk rock. Entonces eso también es como un espectro chimba, porque no es una ciudad que está cerrada solo como a un género dentro del punk, sino que es muy variado y se pueden hacer muchas cosas gracias a eso. Los conciertos de punk los hacemos con ayuda de todos nosotros, de los mismos parceros, autogestionados totalmente. Tratamos de traer varias bandas y así, tenemos bandas internacionales como nacionales, y darle como cabida al que está arrancando a surgir, como no cerrarle las puertas, sino antes motivarlo más y decirle, vamos a tocar. Nosotros les invitamos a tocar, les grabamos un disco, les grabamos unos casetos, les hacemos los dibujos para sus proyectos. Entonces es como apoyarnos entre todos para que la movida siga y siga y siga creciendo.
Zeintzuk dira planetaren oihuak?
La sociedad industrializada, supongo yo. La sobrepoblación, la era tecnológica. Es una pregunta muy ambigua y muy abierta. Supongo que es la combinación de todo eso. Todos los males del planeta son esos, que básicamente se centran en nosotros como sociedad moderna, como sociedad industrial.
Zein puntutaraino dago enfokatuta azken albuma minari buruzko gaietan?
O álbum retrata basicamente, relacionado à dor, todo aquele tipo de sofrimento que o Estado proporciona para aqueles que têm o menor poder aquisitivo, né? Aqueles que vivem em comunidades e passam por fome e miséria. A desigualdade social no nosso país é muito grande e com isso a maioria da população sofre. Esse é o tipo de dor que nossa sociedade vive. Uma dor direta ao subconsciente de cada indivíduo do país. O segundo álbum foi feito num período que a gente passou confinado. Então muitas das letras foram a respeito dessa questão do confinamento. Isolamento social, muitas mortes, um período que a gente passou de grande tribulação em todo o mundo. Essas letras também foram compostas com muita carga de emoção a respeito desse período que a gente passou desses últimos 2 anos.
Yeah, we know some small things about Basque Country, like it's placed on Iberian Peninsula, has its own culture and language, specific cuisine, which we would like to taste, of course, we'd like to try. Yeah. And also Basque Country, as we know, well known with its famous people like Paco Rabanne and Cristobal Balenciaga. And also a little detail we know about Basque nation, that Basque people has more negative Rh factor of blood than all other European nations. And what about our playing live in Basque country? Of course, and we would like to play anywhere we still wasn't. We always like to get some new places and would play in Basque country with our big pleasure, of course.
Eskozia mesedegarria da zuena moduko taldeentzako?
It's actually, it's like a double-edged knife, because Scotland right now is great for underground heavy music. There's a lot of great death metal bands like Coffin Mulch, Party Cannon, Rancid Cadaver, Brain Bath, a lot of great thrash bands like Disposable, Fatal Collision. There's lots of other stuff going on, you know, hardcore like Divide, like all the Northern Unrest bands like Nothing But Enemies and Hellbound, you know, Despised. There's loads of great bands coming out of Scotland just now. Even out with Glasgow and Edinburgh, there's a new band called Gangs, there's a new band called Truth Ruiner, there's loads of great music coming out of Scotland just now. Scotland is a great place to be around good music. There's so many good bands coming out of Scotland just now, but the difficult thing is playing outside of Scotland, or specifically playing outside of Glasgow and Edinburgh. Sort of Glasgow and Edinburgh are the two main hubs for heavy music and for music, live music in general just now. So you find if you're in Scotland that you generally play Glasgow or Edinburgh quite a lot, but there's not really anywhere else to play. And if you want to play outside of Scotland, you kind of need to drive like 4 hours to get to Leeds or Manchester, and then for, you know, to get to England to play other places. So a lot of bands in Scotland end up playing Glasgow and Edinburgh, and Glasgow and Edinburgh are like less than an hour apart, so you wouldn't want to play both too often either, because people go to shows in both. You know, it's basically one scene. So, you know, as much as there's great music in Scotland, a lot of bands tend not to get out of Scotland too much, and that sort of stifles those bands. Unfortunately, it's how there's so many good bands in Scotland that just never really leave Scotland, unfortunately, because it's just difficult. You know, you need to drive, like I say, 4 hours just to get to the next place, which is in England. So you can't really just go in for a weekender and play a whole bunch of shows and then come back, because you kind of need a day for travelling back and forth. So it's a great place for music. It's a great place to get to know other musicians and hear good music, but to get your name out there, it can be quite difficult. Although there are a lot of people just now, since the pandemic has ended, the lockdowns have ended, there's been a real upshot in shows in places like Dundee, Inverness, Aberdeen, you know, like other places in Scotland. You know, people are really trying to establish some scenes there and doing great things. You know, that they're particularly JCHC Zine in Dundee, we Make That Take Records. They're putting on a lot of shows in Dundee, so that's making that a viable area to go play now if bands in Scotland want to go play Dundee. And I know that folk are putting on a lot of shows in Inverness, like I said, and you know, other places are starting to. I think there's a hunger for live music in more cities now, so there is more live music in those cities, so you can travel to those other places in Scotland and play shows now, rather than just playing Glasgow and Edinburgh all the time. So that's interesting to see.
Pandemia zuen kantutan isladatuta dago?
Frankly, we barely know about it, and according to search engine, it's an ethnic region between Spain and France that struggle to get their autonomy. And yes, we would love to play there and share the same vibe if we play there. Go.
Zer esango zenukete Naua Pipil, Lenka eta Kakauirari buruz?
Nahanutuga y Daniel Córdoba ni nemi tine tu nuteshan kuskatan y wan nu nu tastagetza náhuatl pipil neo nahuablante. Aquí les quiero decir de que yo soy un neo nahuablante náhuatl pipil. Es una de las lenguas originarias de nuestro país que lastimosamente se han extinguido. El lenca igual, el cacahuira igual, y así como hay otras lenguas que se han extinguido, pero últimamente nosotros estamos en el rescate y la revitalización de la lengua náhuatl. Es por eso que parte de nuestro trabajo y nuestras cosas en la banda pues tienen ese enfoque, y gracias a ustedes también por darnos esta parte para poder participar y poder darles a conocer nuestra lengua y nuestra lengua madre en este sentido, ¿verdad? Así que Suksul Padiush, muchas gracias.
Padiush. Zein da jende kurduaren egoera?
Well, that's not an easy question. Kurdish people, as probably most of you know, is the biggest minority which doesn't have their own state. They are it's more than 40 millions of Kurdish people around the world, and mostly they are separated in those 4 Kurdistans right now: north, east, west, and south. Like south of Turkey, north of Iraq, west of Iran, and then Syria. So far from all of those, the Iraqi Kurdistan has the biggest autonomy. They have their own government, their laws, and they are kind of independent and they're living their life. So but they have also problems like every other country, but they have the biggest freedom, and they are called Kurdistan. The rest is pretty hard, but I think that question was probably mentioned about the Syria Kurdish people. Well, it's not good. The revolution is still on. The struggle is still continue, but since USA withdraw by the order of the worst president in American history, Donald Trump, they withdraw the forces, and with that vacuum, the Turkish army comes to north of Syria and get the whole piece of the land there. So yeah, we have a Turkish army in northern Syria, but the Syrian regime is kind of weak to do anything with it. They probably even don't want, because they don't like Kurdish either. So it's like enemy of my enemy. Well, so it's kind of like status quo. Okay, there are Turkish army in there, but the fight still continues. YPG and YPJ units working together with Peshmerga, which are like the Iraqi army, and as we think that Islamic State is gone, it's not. A lot of sleeping cells getting back active, and they got a lot of reinforcements and material and weapon delivery from the Turkey secretly. So like Kurdish people try to keep them on leash, fighting for all of us. So yeah, the struggle is on. The Kurdish people want their own state, but it's gonna be really long journey with unsure end. Well, then all of those 4 Kurdish parts are not compatible, so even if there is no outside threat, like every country like don't like the Kurdish people, then even they don't like each other much, so they have to find a way how to unite, and well, then probably we're gonna see some good results, but so far it's not ideal. It's not total disaster, but okay, it's not good. Okay, wow.
Zer esan dezakezue Raid Platoari buruz?
the right cymbal, it's my favorite cymbal. It's very useful. It's great for big rock stuff like ring ding a ling ding ding, you know. The right cymbal, it's great.
Zelakoa da Bulgariako headbanger jentea?
Bulgaria is a small country, which means that we don't really have so many headbangers, but this is great because we kinda know most of them. And there is a scene, a lot of the headbangers have bands, and we go to each other's concerts, which is not bad. Any thoughts?
Yes, most of us know each other, and it's always fun because we usually, as he said, we go to each other's concerts, and also when we go to a foreign band, we see a lot of friends from different cities that we haven't seen from a long time, and it's almost every show is really a pleasure for us. It doesn't matter if we play or if we were somebody else.
Zertaz hitz egiten dute zuen hitzak?
Bueno, hablamos de muchos temas, hablamos de, como no podía ser de otra forma, hablamos de las luchas de los pueblos indígenas, de la autonomía, del colonialismo, de la historia, de la tierra, digamos, todas las luchas que tengan que ver con los pueblos indígenas de América, pero también intentamos hablar de nuestra vida diaria, digamos, y cómo es también nuestra vida como punks indígenas y cómo nos asumimos también como punks indígenas y cómo es llevar a estas varias identidades, digamos, que nosotros asumimos como indígenas, como punks y entre otras, ¿no? Son temas muy generales, aunque obviamente lo que resalta siempre son las luchas indígenas.
Irauten du muizka hizkuntzak?
Si nos referimos solo a la lengua muisca, el muisco cubún, diría que en este momento la estamos despertando. Estaba en cierto tiempo dormida y a través de la tradición oral, a través de la música, de los cantos que hemos tenido en la comunidad, hemos ido recuperando esa lengua también a través del territorio, donde a través de nuestros abuelos, de las personas mayores que son las que nos comparten la palabra, hemos podido aprender un poco más de lo que era la lengua que nosotros teníamos y el por qué de pronto se durmió y por qué en este momento es tan importante recuperarla para nosotros como pueblo indígena. Hay muchos pueblos indígenas en Colombia que tal cual están perdiendo su lengua, pero no la están intentando recuperar, pero nosotros sí estamos intentando reivindicar desde ahí nuestras raíces.
Zein esan nahi dauka abiadurak zuen musikan?
Fast music. What means speed in our music? I guess for me, it's I get bored with slow music. I grew up listening to 90s music as most of us did, like bands like Lagwagon and Pennywise, Strung Out. So I always, like, if I was ever going to be in a band, it was always playing fast music like that. You always just want to play the music you like listening to. So fast music. It's always been about fast music for us. Like, there's something about a really fast punk beat with some music over top of it, whether it be chords or riffs or whatever, and then having a singer sing melodically over top of that. For me, that's just like the perfect type of music. So that's what I've always strived for our band to create and achieve. So.
Zer nolako gitarrak erabiltzen dituzue?
What kind of guitars do I use? Here I have my Jackson Randy Rhoads III active pickups, EMG 80, EMG 60, licensed original Floyd Rose, original from Jackson. It's on the license. So yeah, BC Rich keys, assembled in this way because it's from the guitar that have left keys and right keys. So this is Jackson. Here I have my BC Rich Ironbeard Platinum Series with Schaller Floyd Rose, Merlin Hellfire pickup, active pickup, this is the original one, Yeah, I really like this guitar because it reminds me of Morbid Angel, yeah, and Trey kind of play.
Ezagutzen duzu Euskal Herria? Gustatuko litzaizuke Euskal Herrian zuzenean jotzea?
Yes, we do know the Basque, and we would love to play. I mean, if the fans want us there, if the people, the organizers feel like we are interesting enough, or it's to curate us in the set, we would love it. That is one of my, dream places, you can say, to go, because I'm a painter full time, and the Basque has a lot of culture for painting.
Non igerten da marginazioa Mexikon?
Chale, y bueno, aquí en México existe un gran porcentaje de marginación y lo vemos en base a las faltas de oportunidades, en la desigualdad social, desigualdad económica, en la discriminación a las personas con rasgos visten de una forma tradicional, que físicamente son de colores puros, bueno, cafés, negros. Y aquí en México sí se da mucho esa parte de la marginación. Por eso incluso hicimos un primer tema llamado Marginación en base a esa gran cantidad de porcentaje que hay en México.
Zein gai jorratzen duzue zuen musikan?
A lot of depravity, emotional, physical, spiritual, expressed in different ways. Ecocide, really kind of used the little political, essence of, or like a theme, scheme of that, to just, have this, comparing the deliberate desecration of territory inhabited by peoples as a war crime, and just that desolation verse compared and alluded to the self. Moving on.
Ezagutzen duzu Euskal Herria? Gustatuko litzaizuke Euskal Herrian zuzenean jotzea?
I mean, sure I would. To be honest, I actually don't know a lot. I mean, I know there's been a lot of political struggle and tensions throughout the years. Some violence as well. Can't really say too much about it. Something about Sherlock Holmes too, but it's not a lot that I can go into detail there. Would we like to play there? Yeah, of course we would. So throw us an invite and we'll take a look at it.
Bizi zareten erregiotik, zerk inspiratzen du umbralen musika?
Eu acho que o principal ponto é a desigualdade social, que eu acho que dá um estalo sempre em começar alguma obra, é a questão da desigualdade social. Mas assim, para mim, é a minha vivência, assim. Hoje eu tô com 30 anos, e esses 30 anos, assim, do que eu vivi aqui nessa região, é o que me inspira a fazer esse tipo de música.
A nossa canção, né, Fome nas Ruas, ela também é uma história verdadeira, né? Numa cidade pequena que o prefeito ele estava sonegando impostos, estava tendo uma falta de alimentação nas escolas, a prefeitura não estava dando as assistências para as famílias mais carentes e descobriram que ele estava desviando esse dinheiro para mandar para os filhos deles que estavam fora do Brasil.
E além disso também tem a questão de como que a nossa cidade aqui ela trabalha bastante a questão cultural, muitas vezes nem é vinculado a apoios políticos, mas de uma iniciativa da própria comunidade, dos próprios bairros, dos alunos, dos estudantes, enfim. A gente sempre tem aqui algum evento relacionado à cultura que é promovido e que é bastante frequentado, e isso evidentemente acaba inspirando e motivando a gente a também construir alguma coisa e contribuir de algum modo também com a cultura da cidade e, por que não, do nosso país.
Zenbat hizkuntza indigena hitz egiten dira Mexikon eta nola bizirauten dute?
La lengua náhuatl es la lengua indígena con más adeptos aquí en México, seguida del maya, que es aproximadamente la mitad. Estamos hablando de casi el 1.7% del país, es casi el 1,5 millones de las personas. Está distribuido en las 10 entidades federativas del país mexicano. Sobre todo, por ejemplo, está el otomí, el zapoteco, el yaqui. Y simplemente del maya hay 20 variantes que se pueden localizar. Entonces es muy variado, es muy rico la lengua indígena aquí en el país.
Nolakoa da Varsovia heavy metalarentzat?
Warsaw is both the capital of Poland and the biggest city. In Warsaw there are several clubs that rock and metal bands are playing in, like Voodoo, Dwa Koła, Potok, Metal Cave, Hydrozagadka, Proxima and Progressia, and maybe other places that I don't know. But there is quite a lot of rock and metal bands from Warsaw. For example, Helheim, Rascals, Picious, Dagger Maniac, and many other great stuff that is only waiting to be heard for a wider audience.
Zaila da metala besten ikastea?
Well, that's not a question we can really answer.
But we heard so. It's not the easiest thing to do. Our vocalist is already used, so we're waiting for a new one from AliExpress.
Yeah. It's really a physical thing to do. It really seems to be draining him a little.
It requires lungs, mouth, and some balls, I believe.
Yeah.
Zer da musikari gertatu zaion honena, YouTube existitzen denetik?
We had like MTV. MTV was awesome, and then you know, there's that video killed the radio star kind of bullshit. But YouTube, I feel like I'm old for that. So the transition from MTV to YouTube, I love that. Now I can jump on YouTube and find any band that, you know, in the blink of an eye. But yeah, that's what I would say.
I think the nice thing is that with YouTube, you don't have to know anybody. You just need a fucking camera. You just need a phone. You just need to make decent tunes, and people will see it. You know.
Yeah, tagging's awesome. You just look up like punk rock, street punk, and you can find all this new stuff. It's great. I feel like that's how people are finding us.
Right? Yeah, it's part of the DIY philosophy, which is very much what we're about, and pretty much what carries punk rock is like you just put your shit up. No one needs to allow you to. Minus you two, I guess. You can be seen in Spain, apparently.
Yeah.
So,
well, the thing is, like, people.
That's pretty fucking awesome.
That is actually really cool. This is awesome that we've been asked to do this. But yeah, I agree with you. It's the fact that you can just throw shit out there, and you're not doing it for anybody or for any reason. You're just doing it because you fucking love it.
Ezagutzen duzu Euskal Herria? Gustatuko litzaizuke Euskal Herrian zuzenean jotzea?
Yeah, we know about the Basque country, we know about the Basque people who have been fighting for their independence for a long time. And you have also great football teams like Atletico Bilbao. It's world-class football. How could we not know? And of course, yes, we would love to play for you anytime. If you have any kind of a metal festival or anything, just give us a call.